Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Thirsty Conversations. We have a great person on here that I've known a very long time. She's been doing accounts payable as well as collection receivables, I think it is. Receivable collections?
No,
Well, let's start with,
Yes.
This is Tracey, and this is Lawrence's wife.
I was trying to hide that from
I
everyone,
know,
but that's
It makes it even more funny that you didn't know quite what she did.
really. Yeah, my background is in accounting. I started accounts payable many years ago. I've been in accounting over 30 years, and I'm basically accounts receivables, credit and collections. I also do some cash management with the bank, but that's my background.
Now, you know what's really great about what you do is that everyone thinks of accounting and they think of an accountant.
A nerd.
And there's so many other different facets that belong to that. And a lot of those facets, I don't believe you need a degree to necessarily do.
No, you don't need a degree to do accounts payable, accounts receivable, credit and collections. You don't need a degree for that. I do have my degree in business management. I have a minor in business law, but you don't need to have a degree. I learned on the job.
Okay.
So that was my first accounting job, was in accounts payable. So that's why my experience was mostly in payables, and then I transitioned over to credit and collections, which I like that better. But some companies I noticed that they want you to have a degree, which I don't understand why. Because if you have the experience, you're fine. Even if you don't have the experience, you can come in and you can learn it.
When you started, did you have your degree already, though, when you first
yes.
started? But you don't think that's necessary at all?
You do not need it. You don't. You just need to, in accounting, it's very detailed. You have to be on top of your game all the time. You will be working a lot of hours.
Okay.
That just comes with the job. You can be focused on one task, and next thing you know, you're going to another task. You can be pulled away, and it's fast paced.
Do you think you have to be good at math?
No, not really. You
No.
need to know the basics.
Sure.
Yeah, you need to just know the basics, and you're fine.
You're not pulling out like calculus formulas or...
Oh God, no.
Okay.
No, as long as you know the basic math, you're gonna be fine. Yeah.
So now, again, when you think of accountants, you typically think of someone sitting behind a computer all day. Do you work? But you do collections. Do you also work with customers? What does your typical day look like, and who do you talk to?
My typical day, because my job is tied to the automotive industry, so I have a lot of big, huge accounts.
Yeah.
Chrysler, Ford, you name it. I have a lot of big, huge accounts. So you're dealing with a lot of people. You're dealing with the salespeople. I deal with, I'm dealing with our VPs. I mean, you have to let them know what's your DSO, what's going on with this customer. So I have to make sure that when I have my weekly meetings, that I have to be able to present, why isn't this being paid? What's going on? Are we going to put them on hold? There's certain customers we just don't put on hold.
Sure.
My big ones,
big customers, yeah.
You do not. You work with them, and that's what you do. You work with your customers. You build a relationship with your customers, and instead of being rude and nasty, that's not going to get you anywhere. As long as you build that rapport, and if they're having an issue, you work with them, and that's what we do. And my day, I also do credit checks. I have people that send credit applications in. So I have to get those approved, check credit references, establish credit lines with my boss.
So this is not just a numbers job.
Oh, no.
This is like a people job.
Yes. Because you're dealing with people all the time.
Oh,
You're
yes.
dealing with our salespeople. If a customer goes on hold, like a small customer, of course they're going to call me and say, well, why are they on hold? Well, sometimes they'll call me and say, hey, how has this customer been paid? What's the trend?
Have you come out, what is like the biggest surprise when you first started? Was there anything that you were like, oh, you want me to do that? Okay.
The hours.
The hours.
Yeah. You have to have I have a very strong work ethic. So I'm used to it, doesn't bother me, but sometimes it gets a little tiring. But you have to be dedicated. You have to, at the end of the month. I don't take off between the 26th and the 1st.
Ever.
Unless it's an emergency. That's just me. I can, if I want to take
Sure.
off the 26th. For me, it's
too
no,
stressful. It's
too
like
stressful.
almost too much that
it's too
you
much
know.
because I know the numbers got to be the first of the month. They got to be ready by 9 o'clock. We have to balance, so I don't take off those days.
So this seems like the kind of job that do you think about your job when you're not at your job?
All the time.
Okay, so you really have to be work-minded.
Yeah.
And
Well, since we've been home, what, the end of this month, it'll be 15 months.
So I guess in that case, you probably should think about your job when you're not in the office.
Oh, yeah, even when I was in the office, because it's always, my days are very, very, it's fast-paced. I mean, it goes, you never know. I mean, when the auditors are there, you stop everything. Everything stops. When they need something, you want to be able to give it to them. And you want to be able to explain, well, what happened here. I have backup for everything.
Oh, that's probably good.
Yeah.
Now, you know what's interesting about all the different things that you do? The one thing that I'm curious about, what is the best type of person, the best personality, the best fit for someone that, maybe is considering going into accounting and maybe doesn't want to be a flat out accountant?
Well, if you want to be a staff accountant, that's a whole different level. A lot of times with us, our numbers have to be good before they can go to. Put it like this: we have to balance, AP and AR have to balance before it gets to the staff accountants. If something's wrong with our end, that slows them down. So that's why I'm a stickler for, I need to balance. I need to have my numbers. I tell other people, make sure there's no issues, because when I'm trying to balance my numbers, if I'm off, I get upset.
Now, I know you said that you don't think that you have to go to college, to do this job. Do you recommend, though? I mean, is there any sort of formal training that you're like, if you start with X accounting class or in banking or...
I've been in banking, so I've always been a numbers person. So I've always been in accounting. I left accounting and I went into banking and I hated it. So no. But it's just, you have to have tough skin, because you're going to have sometimes people come to you, well, I think we should do this. And if I'm the type that, no, if I feel very strongly about it, I'm going to tell you. And a lot of times if my boss gives me direction, and I take his direction. And he has my opinion, I give him my opinion. So you have to have tough skin.
What other characteristics do you think a person needs?
You need to have, I would say you need to be a people's person. You need to be able to communicate effectively, listen to the customer, because you don't want to put a certain customer on hold. Even if they're a small customer, let's see how much business are they doing with us. You have to look at that. If it's a small volume and you have a customer that's always late, no, that's not going to work. And they'll get upset. They'll call me, no, why I'm on hold? No, I need my product. I need my parts. Well, you need to pay your bills. But you say it in a nice, respectful way.
Sure.
You don't just say, well, I'll hang up the phone and...
Right. No. Pay me or else.
Right. So it's all how you build a relationship with your customers.
Gotcha. So you have had to then cut people off as far as customers for non-payment.
We've had to, because my boss and I, we meet every week. We go over receivables, we go over everything. And he'll say, well, what do you think? And I'll tell him, I just can't deal with this. This is, I'll be like, this doesn't look good. If they're having cash flow problems, that's a problem.
Well, because it's going to turn into your cash flow problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So we just, that's how it is. It's just very, very detailed. Do expect to work long hours. Sometimes depending on what the first of the month is. At the end of the year, every year, I know in January, I'm like, oh, let me see. Oh, December, oh yeah, we're going to be working late. Because it's month end, year end. That's just what it is.
No, so you said that this is a job that someone who's pretty much out of high school could start or should start into.
You got to have a certain mindset.
You have to have a certain mindset. Where would you...
You have to, you can't just come in thinking, 5 o'clock, I'm running out the door. Sometimes that can happen. I can leave at 5 o'clock every day if I wanted to. But if I have things to do, I have things to do.
Right, it feels uncomfortable to
leave
leave
and
at
if
5.
someone needs you, if they need you to come in, like, oh, we need you to come in on a Saturday, which is very rare. If there's sometimes they may need you. Be kind of open to it. Don't just...
This is 9 to 5. Goodbye.
Right.
Yeah.
You may have to roll with the punches. I mean, sometimes we had to come in on a Sunday. I think one time we had to come on a Sunday because they need the numbers on a Monday due to the holiday. And we did. It was no big deal. So it was only that 2 or 3 hours. That's it.
Where would you? I mean, is this something you could just go on online and typically find an AR job, or do you need to know somebody in the?
You can go and look online and you see what the qualifications are. It all depends on the company.
Okay.
Some may require. A lot of times they are required experience. At that time, I didn't need experience.
Sure. So it really does depend on the company.
Right. It depends on the company.
They may just be looking to fill a spot, and we'll teach you on the job.
And then you may have some companies, they may want a 4-year degree job. Why? I don't understand.
It just depends.
Wow, this is a great conversation. We have to go to break, but I need you to do me a favor and don't go anywhere because we want to keep you around for another segment. Is that okay? All right. Everyone else, we're going to take a quick break, and I mean a very quick break, and then we'll be right back with Thirsty Conversations. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Thirsty Conversations. We're sitting here with Tracey Elrod, and we're going to go into some more thirsty conversations. So, Kristen, what are we talking about?
I'm very curious, especially with being in the financial game. Have you ever, without getting anybody in trouble, have you ever worked for a company or been asked to do anything that would compromise your ethics or values when it comes to accounting?
Never.
Really?
Never.
You've never been asked to fudge any numbers? Or
No. Well, if they want to do it, they're not going to ask me.
You're not going to be
no.
the person to talk to about that?
No. Because I think when you develop a rapport with people in your company, they know who's going to do that and who's not. They already know. You're not going to come to me and tell me I'm not, because they know I'm not going to do it.
Sure.
But I've never been approached. I've never been approached about anything like that.
Okay. And then when it comes to, because I know you also do collections, and we touched on this a little bit, when it comes to customer collections, have you ever been asked to do, approach them in a way that you feel would be like too harsh or?
No. I've been doing it so long, and my boss trusts me.
Sure.
And we communicate all the time. And I've never had a customer. Now I've had a customer that wanted to be taken off a hold because they needed some product, but it all depends if they're delivering to a big company. We don't want to, because if we put one customer on hold, that could affect other companies. It could be a trickling effect. So we look at that also. But if it's a small and you've been paying late all the time, no. But I've never been asked to do anything out of the. No.
That you never calling the same person like three times in an hour, because there are some types of companies out there,
Right.
Like I don't want to say check cashing places, but the sort of places
Right.
that'll
Yeah.
Well, so you've never been asked that in your profession?
No, not at all.
Let me ask you this. I'm very curious. How do you handle the customer? Let's say it's a big customer, and this customer is very rude, very disrespectful. Mind you, they're mad at you that you're calling them because they didn't pay their bill. How do you handle a customer like that? Because, some people would say, I would never do this job just
Right.
because I would never want to deal with that. How do you deal with a customer like that? Because I'm quite sure you've come across that.
Yeah. People tell me that all the time. They go, well, I won't want your job. Well, I won't want your job either.
Yeah.
But I've had a customer that would start swearing, and I'm very professional to a point.
To a point.
Customer started swearing, and I just politely hung up the phone.
I love that you say politely hung up the phone.
I just politely hung up the phone because I think that whatever profession that you are in, you do not have anyone talking to you like that. Period. I hung up. I told my boss what happened. You're not going to swear at me. I'm not going to listen to that. And as a matter of fact, 2 days later, I got an apology. I think it was the office manager called to apologize for that person was having a bad day. Yeah, but
Of course.
I've dealt with that. I've dealt with people. Well, I'm going to call your boss. Sure.
And is it easier because you're calling about facts and figures and money that you can just say, well, the numbers say you owe this, you haven't paid this,
Right.
therefore this must happen. I mean, is it easy that you have policy to call on? And do customers see that? Do they understand your position?
Oh yeah, they understand.
Yeah.
They understand. They know how far they can go. They know. I mean, if I'm looking at you've been late 6 months and we've steady sent product out, it's going to get to the point that we're not going to keep doing that. I mean, you either have to pay your bills or we stop shipping, depending on who it is.
Sure.
Yeah, but you're going to be dealing with all type of people. You're going to have some rude people. You're going to have people, why are you calling me? Well, you never call. Well, this is the first time I had to call. And what happens is sometimes at the accounts payable level, when I'm calling accounts payable, I can tell when one of my contacts are gone.
Oh, okay.
I had one that went on maternity. I knew she was going on maternity leave, but she said they were going to get someone just like her.
Wasn't just like, they're never just
They're
like her.
never like
Right, they never know what's going
yeah.
on.
So, and I'm like, if someone leaves and I don't know about it, I'm like, something's wrong because this is not how they normally.
This is not
behave.
how they normally operate. Yeah.
Right. So I'm able to, when I have my meetings, I'm able to say, this is what's going on here. Oh, this one, because trust me, my boss would be able to tell if I wasn't doing my job. My numbers would speak if I wasn't doing my job.
That's right.
Yeah. But it's interesting. I mean, it's fast paced. I'm dealing with customers. I'm dealing with, people inside of our company. And we have meetings. We have meetings with our financial manager also. So, and of course, they take notes.
Is there ever a time that you've experienced that a customer has put their non-payment back on you, or as far as either we didn't receive the bill, we didn't receive it in the right file.
Well, we didn't receive. You didn't enter the invoice on the portal. Well, when I do that, I make a copy for myself and I keep it in the file.
That's so smart.
Oh, you didn't enter it on the portal. Oh, we didn't get the invoice. Oh, yeah, you did, because I
You
can
say
tell
you have
what
backup
time.
for everything.
I have backup for everything. Because I'm so used to dealing with auditors, or if someone comes to me and say, hey, well, why did we issue a credit for this amount? Oh, excuse me. Look at the attachment.
We did issue it.
Or if not, I can look at my file. So you're never going to catch me. And you're just not. You will never catch me not. Let me see. I don't remember. No.
So you don't.
I work with some of the best. So
So you can't drop the ball.
you're not. No.
Yeah, you definitely
And
have
if
to be a
something
strong
happened,
person.
I'm
it
always
sounds
able
like.
to back it up. I can back up. Well, I have files.
What happens? I'm just curious. I just need to have this
Oh,
play out.
I'll have
What
some.
happens when you show them the proof?
Well, wait a minute. Oh, well, you
I must have
remember you approved that.
So usually, that solves it. That's
Right.
always it.
And sometimes I'll have a manager say, "Hey, Tracy, can you you know who authorized this? Oh yeah, give me a
I have
second.
the email.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. You're not going to tell me to do something and not going to send it to me in writing. Yep. Because I know,
That's so smart.
I've been in accounting long enough. I know that could bite you in the butt.
well, it sounds like you really do have to be exceptionally organized, especially if you have backup for everything.
Yeah, I
Your
have.
email must be a mess.
Well, it's huge. Well, yeah, it's huge because I take documents and I attach it, and I also have a separate file. That's just how I am. Because the auditors can want it, manager can want it, my boss can want it. So I can go back and say, oh, here's an email that we approved. This is why we raised this credit limit. Because anytime I enter something, the system is going to say the date and time that I did it.
And you have to have some sort of proof
And then
somewhere. Why?
it can say the date and time, and when I create an invoice or when I have to issue a credit or a debit. And what did you do? Well, first I'm going to have the description. I'm going to definitely have the description, and I'm going to have an attachment. And if it's something that isn't attached,
You
I
got
have
it
it
in
in my
email.
file. Yep.
Do you use in your business? Do you use like standard accounting software, like a bit like a QuickBooks? Or is your company too big for that?
The other company that we had at the time, we were using QuickBooks, but my software is mostly game for the automotive industry.
Okay, so it's a
Yeah.
So it's
industry
specialized software.
specific.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
For the automotive industry, and also I download aging reports all the time into Excel. Because a lot of my customers, they want everything in Excel.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
'Cause that-
But then, oh no, we
Touch
changed
everything.
and a lot of times, oh, you sent it to that person. Oh, that person isn't here anymore. I'm like, really? Well, why wasn't I
Why
informed?
wasn't I told?
Yeah, well, why wasn't I informed that,
Right.
Oh, well, can you send that to me? Oh, I sent that to you a couple times before, but yeah, I'll send it.
But
to
I'll
you.
send it to
But
you.
what I'll do, I'll take that same email
Yeah.
that they say they never received, and yeah.
Now, what's interesting is it sounds like you need to be a very strong person.
Yeah, you do.
Like someone that's a little bit on the shy side, a little timid,
No.
may not probably be a good fit for this, it sounds like.
Oh, it
You
sounds
can't
like
be timid because you're going to have managers that ask you questions. You're going to have other people. Yeah, timid is not, no.
yeah. Well, and I could see customers taking advantage
Oh,
of
yeah.
a timid person.
Definitely.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they feel like they can manipulate you. Oh, she's gonna let me slide. Oh, no, she's, with me, no. I'm very professional, and it's all about the customer, but we still have to protect ourselves also.
Right.
You
And so
know.
you do see that as far as your main goal at the company, in AR, is to protect the company.
Yes.
It's not necessarily like customer service or.
Well, it's a combination of everything. Because if we're not shipping the parts, customers aren't getting the parts. So you don't want to have a trickling effect where if we put someone on hold and it's going to affect another company. So you had to look at all areas.
I think that's really interesting.
Yeah.
That you look at your piece of the puzzle and
Right.
how it's going to affect
Yes.
everything else. I would not imagine a large company would be so considerate.
Yeah,
of
our company
everything.
is. If it's going to put another huge customer, the line is down. You don't want to do that
Sure.
because then that doesn't look
Well, and it doesn't look good on you guys.
Right.
The optics are horrible.
right. Well, they did it. They shut us down. We can't have that.
Sure.
But you do have to have tough skin. You really do.
Wow, this has been a great conversation. And I gotta tell you,
smart.
whoever your husband is, he must be one intelligent man. I mean, whoever Well, we had so much fun, and we definitely want you to come back again in the
Thank
future
you
as
for
well.
having me.
For everyone else, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back. Welcome back, everyone. We had a great show. I really want to thank Tracey Elrod for coming on the show. She was so funny. We had such a great time with her.
Yes. Please check us out on social media. Obviously, we are on YouTube. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram. We are on TikTok also. We are hilarious, by the way.
Yes, we are.
So, again, Thirsty Conversations.
Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. And just remember, thirsty conversations make the best conversations to talk about. Enjoy your day, everyone. Bye-bye.